and welcome to Travel for Engineers, Episode 4. I'm Paul Heaney, and we're back looking at the technology and the sometimes complicated reasoning behind the things we experience on vacation, as well as things that engineering minds will appreciate in destinations from across the globe. One of the things I love about the Midwest, where I live, is how easy it is to take what we call locally one tank driving trips. For example, in my hometown of Cleveland, you can get to Pittsburgh, Detroit, or Columbus in about 2 hours. You can get to Cincinnati, Indianapolis, or the Buffalo Niagara Falls region in about 4 hours. And 6 hours brings Washington, D.C. and Chicago into the possibilities. Given the closeness, I've been to or through Detroit and its metro area dozens of times. Whether it was driving my grandmother to the casinos in Windsor back when she was alive, whether it was heading to an industry event like the Battery Show in the suburbs, or going to see a musical artist perform, I'm familiar with the drive, as well as the manufacturing and chemical plants along the highway and the skyline of the city. A building that always stood out to me was one that's separated just a bit from downtown. It rises perhaps 20 stories, dwarfing everything else around it. It was a beautiful classical style that's rarely built anymore. But the other thing that made it memorable was that you could see right through it. It looked abandoned. I can remember many times driving by and seeing the sunset or sunrise right through the bones of the building's upper stories. A truly strange and kind of post-apocalyptic sight. And honestly, not a good picture postcard view of Detroit. Poor Detroit. A few years back, I saw some news reports that raised my spirits. Ford had purchased the building, and apparently this long abandoned structure sat above a train station that was called the Detroit Union Depot. They were gutting it and renovating the 18-story neoclassical beauty that was built more than a century ago in 1913. On a recent trip to Detroit this year, I stopped in to see the first portions that are now open, and it is really spectacular. The once abandoned tower has now been rechristened The Station at Michigan Central Station, which is a 30-acre complex. The tower's lobby and ground floor are open to the public, with some shops and a cafe. Remaining portions will become a 180-room hotel, workforce development areas, and something called the Mez, with space for business meetings and retreats, along with workspaces available to rent. The Mez is supposed to open, I think, any month now. And even more exciting for me, or the engineer in me, let me say, is that the Michigan Central Complex includes the Detroit outpost of Newlab, an innovative public-private partnership that brings together money from startups who pay membership fees, local government entities, and venture investment. Newlab's building is next to the station in the former Detroit Public Schools book depository, which has also been wonderfully renovated and reimagined. New Lab started in Brooklyn, opened Detroit in 2023, and now a New Orleans facility is under construction. They also have a space in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and an office in Montevideo, Uruguay. New Lab is basically a big manufacturing and innovation playground where startups have space to develop their product using expensive shared equipment from 3D printers to oscilloscopes, which would be cost prohibitive for them to buy themselves. They also have access to world-class prototyping and fabrication facilities, so they can test, iterate, and scale. The new lab building here includes a casting room, CNC room, electronics lab, textiles lab, robotics lab, wood shop, and more. During my tour, I got to see it all, and it's really, really incredible. They also have opportunities for the members to meet each other and network with larger local manufacturers. I saw some really cool startups here, such as Motma, which has developed what they call the Autonomous Underwater Robot, or AUR. The AUR is deployed into water mains, storage tanks, water treatment plants, culverts, and more, allowing for inspection of these submerged environments. Another incredible story I heard here was when I met Greg Sharrow, CEO and founder of Sharrow Marine. Greg, an avid boater, was inspired to create a new type of propeller, a design which really hadn't been improved much on in 200 years or so. His innovative design, which looks like three bending ribbons of steel, reduces noise dramatically, is more efficient at many speeds, and creates less vibration. The design has taken off and been a winner, but what really has been holding back this startup was the wait time for the castings. Sharrow's lead time for the castings was 130 days. No matter what options they looked into, nothing reduced that incredible time lag. Until New Lab, that is. Through the center, Greg was introduced to Dan Mikulski, part of Ford Motor Company's manufacturing group. Dan said they had options and were willing to give back and help out local startups. Soon, a meeting was set up on the Ford campus, and within about 7 minutes of Greg's description of the problem, Ford engineers suggested a solution. Now the propellers are being produced in a Ford plant in 3 days, an incredible reduction from the 130 days that Cheryl Marine was dealing with prior. There's so much talk these days about bringing more manufacturing to America's shores, but also about how to do it better. I think it's important to take the lesson here and remember that all manufacturing doesn't have to be cutthroat competitive. We can help younger engineers and entrepreneurs out with their technical challenges and help pay it forward. So if you're in Detroit in the near future, make sure to look up Michigan Central Station. Check out Newlab. I'm sure they'd love to have you visit. Or maybe by then you can even stay in the new Nomad Hotel, which is planned for the tower's 14th to 18th floors and is due to open in 2027. Well, that's it for this episode. As always, I would love to hear from you. Do you have an idea for a future episode? Whether you just want to suggest a topic or be a guest on a Travel for Engineers episode, please drop me a note at pheaney@wtwhmedia.com and let me know what's caught your eye while traveling the world. And also, don't forget to join the Travel for Engineers newsletter on LinkedIn, which was made specifically for this video series. Until next time, keep traveling and keep watching out for what's really happening behind the scenes. I look forward to seeing you next time.